Be sure to check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com for everything Royal Caribbean related. RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Happy Monday. Every Monday, I'm with you here live on YouTube. Thank you for joining us here. When we're not live, we're over at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, and we're also here to answer all of your Royal Caribbean cruise questions, starting with the most important question, which is how many days until your next Royal Caribbean cruise? Every countdown in chat. Let's count down together. I am at 20 days till my next cruise on the Allure of the Seas. Yes, I just got off Mariner of the Seas on Saturday, and I had a great time. I'm looking forward to my next cruise on the Allure of the Seas. Also, we had, before the stream started, we had an epic super chat coming in from our good friend, Betty Eakin. Woo! Thank you, Betty. Betty says, what can I offer my cabin during a cabin crawl? I'm in a junior suite. Last cruise for this year, several in 2023. Betty, I am not sure what you mean like a welcome gift or something? I'm not sure exactly, quite frankly, what you would offer. I mean, one thing that came to my mind, Betty, as I was thinking about this right before the stream, was perhaps a chocolates, like if you brought on board individually wrapped chocolates. I guess I don't know that you need to order or offer anything, quite frankly. I think the purpose of a cabin crawl in most situations is you're going to see a lot of different cabins, like, maybe 3, 4, 5 different categories. People get an idea of what they look like. It's something that a lot of people who do a cruise together will organize so that other people can kind of, explore that. So I don't know that you need to offer anything, quite frankly, Betty. I mean, unless I'm misunderstanding your idea, I think you're good on this. Josh Carruthers, thank you for your epic slap Tony Diaz. It's that good of a super chat. Woo! 34 days till Oasis of the Seas and 104 days to the amazing Royal Caribbean Blog group cruise on Wonder of the Seas. Hashtag don't slap Tony. And say you should slap Tony. I said you would be, you would feel almost like you should, but you shouldn't. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate your always incredible generosity. And yeah, coming up very, very soon. Got some nice countdowns there, including that awesome group cruise on Wonder of the Seas, which I really, really cannot wait for. Carrie wants to know, Matt, what happened with the Labadee stop? So on Mariner of the Seas last week, we were supposed to go to Labadee and Coco Cay, but we did not. On the first day of the cruise in the evening, we had to make a medical evacuation. We had to, somebody got hurt or sick, I'm not sure, and the ship had to divert to Fort Lauderdale. And the time it took for us to divert path, go into Fort Lauderdale in order to safely evacuate that guest, we were unable to make it to Labadee anymore. So as a result, we had 2 days in Coco Cay. We did Coco Cay, Sea Day, and Coco Cay, which I really didn't mind at all. I mean, 2 days of Coco Cay is not a bad idea if you ask me. So I really enjoyed it. We had a nice cruise otherwise and fantastic weather. I mean, it was hot, but no motion in the ocean. The wind was like, the ocean was like a lake. It was incredible. And following up on that, Eduardo says, what are your highlights from your recent cruise? I mean, really, a couple things. Number one, of course, perfect day, Coco Cay. I went back to the Coco Beach Club, which I need to write a full review of to update our existing review that's from last year. But I had a great time at the Coco Beach Club. Here's my review. Here's my 30-second review of the Coco Beach Club. Yes, it's way more expensive than it used to be. It doesn't matter what somebody else paid in 2021 or before then. Bottom line is the price is the price is the price currently. Nothing you can do about it. If you've never been, I really do recommend it. I think it is worth the money if you've never been. Let's see here. Tony Diaz in the chat. Hello, Tony. I see Shannon. I see the Teresa McChain in the chat as well. Diamond Dave Grossi. Love the name, by the way. Thank you again for the super chat. Appreciate it, Diamond Dave. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Edward wants to know, do we need a passport to cruise from Galveston, Texas to Cozumel, Mexico? Edward, if your cruise begins and ends in Galveston and you are an American citizen, then no, you don't need a passport. You could cruise with a birth certificate, the original birth certificate, not a copy, the original one, and state issued ID. Yes, then you'd be able to do so. And you're an American citizen, Edward. One more thing. Sorry. Closed loop cruise. Your cruise begins and ends in Galveston. You're an American citizen, and you can then cruise with the birth certificate and state issued ID in that situation. Brittany, same answer for you that I just mentioned for Edward. So if you have a minor who doesn't have a passport, they're an American citizen, and you're cruising out of a U.S. port and returning to the same port, then that minor can sail with a birth certificate. It needs to be the original one right there. Jared, my Galveston cruise is in November. I'll be down. There's a media event for a 4-night cruise in early November on the Allure of the Seas. So, let's see here. Lots of good questions here. Let me try to get to as many as I can. Dominique, thank you for the super chat. I cruise on Anthem in April. When I buy a thermal spa pass and go, when can I buy a thermal spa pass and go Coco Cay daybed? Already about the limited dining package, drink package, and the internet. Nice. Your cruise is in April. There is no set time, Dominique, when these things become available. I generally tell people about 6 months beforehand is a good time to check back for those things. There isn't a set time, Dominique. There isn't like X amount of days or X amount of months before your cruise they become available to purchase. You just got to keep checking back, but 6 months more or less is a good idea. Carol, can you recommend a travel insurance company? I use Allianz Travel. There's a good resource. I don't have any. By the way, I have no connection with Allianz or this other resource I'm about to tell you about. InsureMyTrip.com. What Insure My Trip does is basically give you a bunch of different companies and compares plans. But I use Allianz. I can recommend them. I've heard very good things about them. And yeah. Marlena, how does the key work for early debarkation for a tender port such as Skagway? Usually, if you have a tender port in general, Marlena, and you have the key, they'll give you instructions on what times, there's specific places. As memory serves me correctly, in other situations, they've had 2 different tender spots on the ship. One for people with Royal Caribbean excursions, maybe the key, and for people that are doing things on their own. So you'll get instructions on board the ship at the very least. Mark Capo, thank you for the epic super chat. Woo! Thank you, my friend. Purchased a pass for the Coco Beach Club for my wife's 50th birthday. But $224 pretty steep, even for the food is amazing. Any chance it goes down? So yeah, listen, and thank you, Mark, for the super chat. The answer is, could it go down? Sure. I mean, number one, you did the right thing in the sense that you pre-purchased it now and locked in the rate. If there is a better price, because you're going, you didn't say when you're going, but there are sales all the time. There's a sale going on right now this weekend. Obviously, I'm sure you've already checked that price, but it is possible the price can go down, Mark. But these days, demand is so strong for all of the add-ons for cruises that we're not really seeing that much of a plunge in prices. Anything's possible, but you did the right thing. When everyone else listening to this, what I'm referencing is that Mark locked in the price. If there's a better price tomorrow, next week, anytime before his cruise, he can cancel and rebook with no penalty via the Cruise Planner website. But by booking it now, he's also locked in the price so that it can't possibly go up, meaning if the price does go up, he already has the better price locked in. So, Mark, keep an eye on it. The answer to your question is it's possible, certainly it could go down, but, for $224 for the both of you is pretty much the going rate, if that makes sense. Yeah, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Thank you. Carl is going on Wonder of the Seas in February. We're a dime staying in a grand suite. What are free options at Coco Cay? Almost the entire island, basically anything not the beach club, Carl. We have a full tour of Coco Cay on our YouTube channel. Check that out. But South Beach, Chill Island, Harbor Beach, Oasis Lagoon, all complimentary, all wonderful. There isn't a suite only area, if that's your question, if that's what you're going with on that one. So let's see here. La Nina wants my mom. Oh, I think I just look at that. I'm wondering if it's the same one over here. But anyway, we'll get to your super chat right now. Thank you for the super chat, La Nina. I wants to go on Alaska cruise. How are the stabilizers innovation? I got super sick on that other cruise line, which I've never been on. I'll be on a cruise. So here's the thing, La Nina. Yes, there are stabilizers on a ship like Ovation of the Seas. Now, stabilizers are not the end all be all of what makes a stable cruise. I mean, you can get seasick. I got seasick on Wonder of the Seas. And that was in March, and that's the biggest cruise ship in the world. So it's possible to get seasick. But here's the thing, La Nina. Being prepared for being seasick is the strategy and the solution to this. So what you want to do, there's a couple of ways, since you already know you got seasick once. Okay, no problem at all. A couple options. One, you can get an over-the-counter medication. You can go to your local pharmacy and pick up a product called Bonine, Bonine. You can actually buy it on Amazon, in fact. And you take it once a day. It's very effective, works great. If you'd prefer, you could go to your doctor and get a prescription for a patch that goes behind your ear. I believe it's the scopolamine patch. Just ask your doctor for a seasickness patch. It requires a prescription. You buy that, and then you put it behind your ear the day before you leave for your cruise. Never take it off during your sailing, and that's great. Or there are homeopathic strategies, like you could have ginger, like ginger ale. There are ginger pills you could purchase. There's all sorts of other ways you could do it. But the bottom line is, what I'm trying to tell you is it's possible to see like even on a ship like Ovation, the size of that ship. But if you have the right tools, the right medications, then you can really easily mitigate the effects. And if you're truly worried about it, here's what get that Bo9, take it every day, and you'll be fine. So yeah. Hope that answers your question there. We have a lot of super chats coming in here, guys. So I'm going to try to answer as many as I can right now. Yari, thank you for the super chat. Does Royal Caribbean often do Black Friday sales for dining beverage packages? Also, would you recommend a 6 or 8 p.m. dinner time? Planning getting a dinner package, but don't want to miss any cool shows. Good question. So, yes, there are Black Friday sales. But Yari, this goes back to the question I answered, I think, for Carl earlier. It doesn't matter. What I mean by that is if there is something you're looking for, like a dining or beverage package, my advice, book it now, lock in the rate. If there is a better price on Black Friday or tomorrow or whenever, you can always cancel and rebook. The danger people do, Yari, is they say, oh, I'm going to wait for Black Friday because I've heard from somebody on the internet that that's a good time to get a good rate. Side note, I don't think it's Black Friday sales are anywhere as good as they used to be, but that's a whole nother discussion for another super chat. But the bottom line is if you wait and the price ends up being the same or worse goes up, you've lost out now, right? Now you're paying more than you ever intended to. So lock it now. If you know you want something, book it, lock in that price. And if there is a better price for Black Friday or any other point, cancel and rebook. And what I recommend is 6 or 8 p.m. dining time. I used to always do late dinner, Yari. If you had talked to me a couple of years ago, I said 8 p.m. But now I'm all about the 6 p.m., the early dinners. I'd say 6 p.m. It just feels like there's more to do in the evening in that regard. So, Becky Menken from MEI Travel is here. Get a passport. Absolutely. Yes. Love that. Thank you, Becky, for being here. He's my son. Thank you for the super chat. I don't see a message from you. Oh, there it is. So there was a fire on Quantum of the seas this past week, but Royal Caribbean is acting like nothing happened. Would you feel safe sailing on 1 or 2 engines and having 2 engine fires in 3 months? I'm not sure about the 2 engine fires in 3 months, but yes, I'd feel perfectly safe. Let me tell you something. And again, we don't have a lot of details on this, so this is part of the reason. But my understanding, and I could be wrong on this, but my understanding from what I've heard is that there was a fire. It was in the stack. Basically, on a very basic level here, you have, you're burning fuel, right? Diesel fuel. It generates electricity and the smoke goes up. Well, anytime you burn something, there's soot. Soot can get really hot. It caught on fire. But the bottom line is there's no damage, no impact to the sailing. These things have happened in the past. Here's my son. So it's happened. I remember, and it was actually way worse on Freedom of the Seas. If you guys remember, Freedom of the Seas had one in 2015, I think. And but the bottom line is, yeah, fire is like the number one threat for cruise ships. But it's once the fire's out, the fire is out. And the answer to your question, I would absolutely feel safe. There's nothing more to report on that. It's just sometimes things happen. There are accidents known to happen. The good news is the protocols that are in place contain the fire, made sure it was not spreading, and the ship is safe to sail. I really, honestly, I listen. You guys all know I'm a big Royal Caribbean fan, like many of you guys. So I'm not here to tell you that I'm the most unbiased person in the world when I share this tidbit of information. But I really do feel that, yes, the ship is safe. I mean, in this day and age, they're not going to be cavalier with the safety of the ship, the crew members, or the guests, not necessarily in that order, because this is a company that's looking to make business. And let me tell you something, the only thing worse than a random fire occasionally is a major problem, right? That can really ruin an entire company. Look at Costa as an example of that. Not a fire, but you get my point. Anyway, the bottom line is, yes, I feel totally safe with that. So thank you for the super chat. But I honestly think some people perceive this to be a bigger issue. It sounds scary, and I'm not saying it's not, but the good news was it ended up being a non-issue, and that's how I look at it. Dave and Sherry, thank you for the super chat. 9 days till Oasis of the Sea, celebrate my birthday at Coco Cay, and final wife? Sherry got us a beach club cabana. Best gift ever. Nice. Thank you for the super chat. I don't know what's going on with final wife. That sounds very ominous, but but thank you. And yay, Sherry got you a beach club cabana. That's awesome. You are gonna love that. Steven, planning our first cruise. Awesome. Help out. Wonderful. We married on Coco Beach on August 22nd. Went on Indy to Coco Cay and Nassau. Loved Independence of the Seas. We plan a last cruise. Best Alaska ship. They're all great. If it's your first time, and I think it is, Steven, I'd recommend a Quantum class ship. Hard to go wrong with a Quantum class ship for the an Alaska cruise right there. The Teresa McShane, thank you for the super chat. I'm afraid Tony is about to start fighting back. That's all right. As long as we schedule the fight past 7:30 p.m., Teresa, he'll be asleep. So no worries about that. Anna Marie Myers with an epic slap Tony Diaz. It's that good of a super chat, but you shouldn't slap Tony Diaz. Woo! Thank you, Anna Marie. Thanks for all you do. 182 days till Odyssey of the Seas. Thank you, Anna Marie. Always appreciate your support in many forms. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's 182 days till Odyssey of the Seas. Sounds like an awesome cruise you've gotten over there. David, thank you for the super chat. Booked Mariner of the Seas through MEI Travel. Thanks to Ashley. 285 days before we sail. Includes both Labadee and birthday Coco Cay. We assume the deluxe drink package honored at Playmakers is food extra. Yes. So if you have the deluxe beverage package, you are correct. The drinks, the alcohol, beers, whatnot, that's included at Playmakers. But the food does cost extra over there at Playmakers, if that makes sense. So there you go. If you had a dining package, David, you don't have to get one, but if you had one, then they would be included at Playmakers as well. You would get a stipend to use per person, which is more than enough for people to eat there as a meal. Rage Shifty, what a great name. Thank you for the super chat. How many people wear tuxedos on forum nights? Very few. In general, there's been a more casual approach to cruising over the last X amount of years, however many you want to define. I mean, will there be some people? Yes. I think you'll find a handful of people. Generally, you will find more people who go more of an all-out, who might be wearing a tuxedo on a longer sailing, like a 7-nighter or longer, as opposed to a 3 or 4-night cruise. If you're on a 3-night cruise, or even a 4-night cruise, you're probably not seeing anybody in a tuxedo. Maybe like 1 or 2 randos. But on longer sailings, you get more of that, still that tradition there. It's not necessary to wear a tuxedo. I think personally, I don't own a tuxedo, number one. Number two, I would say it's probably over the top for this day and age. I don't have any problem with it. I think it looks nice. It's just not my thing. I wear a suit and I feel perfectly comfortable with that. So, and Lenina, thank you again for the super chat. I just saw that come across my screen over here on this end. So thank you. Dominique with another super chat. With the unlimited dining package, I need as much as I want at Azumi. Kind of. So at Azumi, at the sushi side, you get a stipend, just like Playmakers. So the answer is no, because you get a $35 stipend per person, and you can only order up to that amount. Beyond that, you would have to pay for it. But Dominique, let me tell you something. That's a lot of money to spend at Azumi. You will not leave that restaurant hungry. So, and of course, you can come back again to Azumi later on. So you got that as well. Diamond Dave Grossi, thank you again for the super chat. I'm supposed to go on a wasted 13 days with my wife. If she can't go on the embarkation day and can meet up at her first port in Canaveral, is she permitted to do that? I don't believe so. During the pandemic or last year, somewhere in between, Dave, Royal Caribbean banned the act or the practice of downlining, which is what your wife would be potentially doing. You can ask Becky Mencken in our chat. She attempted to do this when we were doing the group cruise on the Mariner of the Seas earlier this summer. I believe the answer is no to that. Becky can share information. Thank you for the super chat, though. I appreciate you. Michelle Pros, hello, welcome. Good to see you here. Next question. Mrs. Plays, hello. Lots of friends in here. Love that. Diana sailing on Harmony of the Seas, September 11th, first time in Coco Cay. Which is the best free island spot to go to? I mean, are you a pool gal or are you a beach gal? If you're a beach gal, I really like Harbor Beach. I think it's underrated. I also spent when I was just there last week, I went to South Beach and I loved South Beach. So here's what I'm gonna tell you. If you're a beach gal, go to South Beach. If you're a pool gal, well, then you only got one choice. That's Oasis Lagoon. So that's what I would do right there. Jennifer, thank you for the super chat. Just want to say thanks for all that you do. Your information helped us have the best and first cruise ever on Independence of the Seas. Woo! Hit COVID last day. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Hope you're feeling okay now. Going back in 52 days and 2 more cruises booked next year. There you go. Listen, as somebody who had COVID on a cruise ship, it's not the end of the world. Stinks, no doubt about it. But hopefully you'll recover quickly and you'll be able to go on your next cruise in 52 days. That is awesome. Thank you. Terry has a question for us. Have you noticed that the hurricane season has been mild this year? We're now in September and we're only at E. Well, don't forget the peak of hurricane. Thanks for jinxing us, Terry. The peak of hurricane season has not hit us yet. It's between mid-September and mid-October. So the first couple of months, June and July, are like there's rarely many storms to begin with, and then you really get into the meat and potatoes of it as we're right about to hit peak season. So thanks for guys. When there's a hurricane and your cruise is impacted, just remember Terry jinxed us all. Love you, Terry. Thanks for the question. Ronnie Bickers Jr. Ronnie, thank you for the super chat. When, where, and how do I show proof of vaccination? There are two opportunities if it's necessary. One would be in the Royal Caribbean app. So before your cruise, when you do the check-in, there could be an option there to put it in. Otherwise, it'll be at the check-in process in the terminal, and they'll ask for it. So just have it with you, and they'll say, okay, Mr. Bickers, can I please see your vaccination card? There it is. Easy peasy. Perfect option for you. Lil Fontana, thank you for the super chat. Going on Harmony of the Seas in October, do you recommend reserving shows? If so, when is the soonest I can reserve it? Yes, I do recommend them. You can do it when you get on board the ship. So when you get on board Harmony of the Seas, you can connect to the Royal Caribbean Wi-Fi, use the Royal Caribbean app, and then make reservations. And I would do that as soon as you get on board the ship. I'd be sitting there while you're eating lunch, making reservations. I think that's the best way to go about it. Thank you for your super chat. I do appreciate it. Next question is from Melissa wants to know, is there a CDC COVID change for Canada yet? No, don't forget, by the way, Canada is a different country, so the CDC doesn't apply there. But no, the protocols for Canada and Bermuda have not changed yet, so it's still the same as it's been. No change in that. And again, that we'll have more of a tomorrow's video is actually about this, but that's on Canada. That's Canada rule. Royal Caribbean, if they had their choice, they'd let you on there if you're unvaccinated. But that's a Canada rule. Since your ship visits Canada, Canada's rule supersedes it. So that's the reason why. North Florida Wanderers. Thank you for the super chat. Matt, it's all your fault. Oh boy, sounds like my wife is in chat. Love you. I really shouldn't be making that joke considering she let me go on a cruise by myself last week. Book Mariner this is the Coco Cay January 24 in the Royal Suite. Wife says you owe half because it was your idea. We can't wait for it. We can't wait. First time in the big room. What can I say except you're welcome? And I'm sorry. Please direct all invoices to Anthony Diaz, New York, New York. I don't think he lives in Manhattan. I think he lives somewhere out in the outer boroughs. But nonetheless, you're welcome. You'll thank him. Let me tell you something, North Florida Wanderers. In all seriousness, kind of joking still. There have been many times I have spoiled my wife with a nice big cabin, and she yelled at me for the time, why are you spending all that money on there? And I said, honey, you will thank me later. And you know what? She ended up thanking me later. She said, yeah, which is wife talk for you were right, honey. Victor Cruz, thank you for the super chat. I'll be on alert this season 20 days. Do I have to make reservations for the shows, or can I just show up? You can do either or. On an Oasis class ship, I really do believe it's in your best interest to make reservations, Victor. Again, once you get on board the ship, connect to the Wi-Fi, go in the Royal Caribbean app, and you can make reservations. It's really easy to do so, and there's no cost to make reservations. So, next question is from Upstate and Beyond. Thank you for the super chat. 20 days till our first time on Oasis. Thank you, Matt, for all your tips and info. Thank you very much for your support. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Melissa, thank you for the super chat. What is the status of COVID testing for Canada, Alaska, 7 days? I know CDC reviewed many. Yeah, so I obviously just talked about this with you, Melissa, but no changes. Basically, Melissa, the old rules still apply. As it relates to COVID testing, 3 days before your cruise, you can do either a rapid antigen test or a PCR test. They can even be at-home, unproctored testing. That is one change that's allowed, but you still need to do a COVID test up to 3 days before your cruise. Patience Boswell, thank you for the super chat. Wonder of the Seas on November 13th. I'm visually impaired and scared about getting lost, put in special needs, request no answers, thoughts. Patience. We did a podcast episode all about, a good friend of mine, AJ, talked all about being blind on a Royal Caribbean cruise. And I would direct you. So we have a podcast at royalcaribbeanblog.com/podcast. And I'm getting the episode number. And this would be I think this would make you feel much better about the whole situation. It is episode 464. So it came out back in August, so a month ago. Episode 464 is all about cruising while being visually impaired, cruising while blind. And that should answer your question there. And I think AJ did a great job of explaining it all there. So Hopefully that answers your question. Thank you for the super chat. Sammy Boy, first time doing a cruise with a genie. Recommendations of what to do with them. I mean, just ask, and ask again. One of the things you're gonna have to get used to, especially if you cruised before, Sammy Boy, is you're just used to being a little more self-reliant. But truly, ask the genie. The worst they're gonna tell you is no. It's there's like what the genie can do for you is not fully defined. It's very ambiguous. I think purposefully so. They can do a lot of cool things. So talk to your genie. Say, hey, here's an example of one. Have a standing breakfast order. Every morning, this food, these drinks get delivered to your cabin. When you get back on a cruise from your shore excursion, have a snack waiting. Define that, right? Let them know. Give them as much information as possible so they can make your vacation a lot easier. Sarah Heinzman, thank you for the super chat. I don't see a message from Sarah, but I'm looking for it. Sarah, thank you for the super chat. I will keep an eye out for it. Oh, yeah, I found it, Sarah. Sarah says, would you please explain how the 3-night dining package works and confused because the description says unlimited, especially restaurants, every night of your sailing and lunch? Oh, well, that sounds like the description of the unlimited dining package. Let me put it this way. If you have the 3-night dining package, Sarah, I'll make this really easy for you. You have 3 visits to a specialty restaurant. It could even be for lunch if you wanted to. It doesn't have to be for dinner. But anyway, 3 visits. It's included. So if you go to, I don't know what ship you're on, but if it's a cover charge, then it covers the cover charge there. If there's a, if there's a restaurant that has like a stipend, like Izumi Sushi or Playmakers, then you get a stipend there. If you're at Izumi Hibachi, you have to pay a $10 surcharge over there. But otherwise, it's 3 nights. The fact the description says unlimited visits sounds like somebody copied and pasted the description for the unlimited dining package. If you're purchasing the 3-night package, then it's simply 3 meals at a specialty restaurant on board your cruise. So hopefully that answers your question there. Diamond Dave Grossi again with a super chat. Thank you. If my wife can't meet up, at what point before embarkation can I change your reservation to somebody else? Up to, I think it's either 72 or 48 hours, Dave. I did this once, like at the last minute with my wife. She couldn't make a cruise, and I let a buddy of mine come on board. It's 72 or 48 hours beforehand. So do it the week of. Oh, it's Antonio, and I'm out in the burbs of New York. Sorry, I made a guess, Anthony, but nice, Tony. Ainsley, thank you for the super chat. I missed the last few live streams because of work, but I'm back. Woohoo! Thank you, Ainsley. Appreciate it. Garrett has a question for us. I've been on Navigator in February. Are the shows the same now as then? Yeah, the Royal Caribbean really doesn't change up shows at all. So, yes, absolutely. NYC Lover for Life, 97 days till Oasis. If we're only 5 points away from Diamond, what are the possibilities that the Crown Anchor Associate will give us the benefits of the sailing if we're getting double points? 0. You don't get new benefits until you actually attain them, and then you'll get them later on your next sailing. So if you move up to Diamond, first of all, they're not going to give it something like, oh, you're going to get it this cruise. No, they don't care. I mean, they care, but they don't care. You're not getting them. So it'll be for the next sailing, NYC Lover. So congratulations on your impending moving up the scale, but you won't get it till your next sailing. Dave and Sherry, thank you for the super chat. Been married a few times, starter wife, rebound wife, and final wife. Okay. I don't want to, no judgment, no comments here. I'm just glad that you find true love with Sherry. Are all Royal Caribbean ships in operation? They are indeed. Yes, every single ship back in operation, my friend. Yep, absolutely. Kenya Jones, thank you for the super chat. First time wonder of the season, May 2023. Silly questions. How do sea passes work for payments, and how to best cash tip at bars dining? Same as on land. Good question. So yeah, sea pass work basically, Kenya, anywhere on board the ship that you're paying for something. You want to say, Miss Kenya, you owe us whatever. Use your sea pass card. It's like a credit card. Same idea. Works almost exactly the same. They don't take cash on board, so you can't be like, oh, $20, here's cash. They don't do that. Outside the casino, of course. So it's pretty straightforward. For tipping at bars and restaurants, in restaurants, when you dine there, you'll have a receipt, and you can tip right on the receipt, just like at a restaurant on land. So that's pretty straightforward. For bars, any drink that you order will have a 18% gratuity already with it. If you have if you have a drink package, the gratuities part is already covered there. And even if you don't, if you're just ordering an individual drink, you'll be assessed 18%. You'll see it on the receipt. You'll see, okay, here's the drink price. Here's the 18%. You can tip on top of that. I often tip $1 extra on top just to say thank you. But 18% is more than enough. So you don't necessarily need to feel like you need to do so. John Lee says, can you avoid both parties in your room getting the premium drink package? I heard if you call and tell them that you cannot drink, They will allow just one person buying the package. What you heard is half correct. Yes, if somebody in your drink is if another adult in your cabin doesn't want the deluxe beverage package, you could call. But what they're going to make you do, John, is get that other person the refreshment package, which is the non-alcoholic package. Costs a lot less. And I just did this today because my wife doesn't really drink much, so I just called up and let my wife buy the the refreshment package. But you can't, John, call up and only pay for one drink package. They won't let you do that. And I know you're probably like, why not, Matt? Well, because too many people abused the rule. There were far too many people who broke that rule and abused the drink package, no sharing rule. And it's just the reality we live in now. So blame your fellow guests. Walk around the ship and say, it's all your fault. Don't do that. I think it's a bad idea, but you can think it in your head. Kenya wants to know, can you reserve dining before embarkation day or do we have to wait? It depends on where, especially restaurants. My time dining. It depends. Dining package, no dining package. If you have a dining package, no, you have to basically get on board the ship in order to book it. Randy, thank you for the super chat. Why is there an age minimum for beds at cabanas at Labadee? Is the policy enforced? Age minimum. I think what it is, Brandy, and I think what you're asking, like, the answer to your question is there's no minimum to use them, but you need to be an adult in order to reserve one, Brandy. So as an example, I couldn't reserve a cabana for my daughter, who's 11, and she show up and be like, hey, yeah, I'm here with my cabana. It needs to be an adult that does that. But when I show up, Brandy, and I rent a cabana, there's no age minimum. You can have a 6-month-old in that cabana. They don't care. It's just simply you need to be an adult in order to reserve it. Why? I have no idea. I mean, I assume liability, I guess. I don't know. But that's the basics of it right there. So we have some super chats coming in here. Dominique again with a super chat. Thank you. What are the WoW bands and do they still use them? They were RFID bracelets. They don't use them anymore, Dominique. So don't worry about them. They've been brought back since COVID. So, but they were RFID bracelets and they were used in conjunction with the CPAS card. They were an option that you could have in there. And we have another super chat. Aroke72, thank you for the super chat. Why does Royal Caribbean sail to Moreton Island, Queensland? Both Quantum and Ovation are no bigger than P&O's Adventure or Carnival Splendor, but they're two to almost stuck with. I have no idea. It's a good question. Now, there's a lot of reasons why a cruise line will sail to one port or another. I can't give you a specific answer, Aroke, and I don't know that it necessarily has to do with the size of the ship. It could be limited capacity in that port. Perhaps that port, because don't forget, is P&O, all of P&O owned by Carnival or just like part of it? I forget. Anyway, the berths, the docking locations could have already been taken up by another company. There are certain ports in which they're actually owned by a specific cruise line and will prevent other cruise lines from going there. There could be market research that tells Royal Caribbean that their customers generally, not 100%, but generally prefer other destinations. It'd be cheaper to go somewhere else. There's a whole variety of possibilities that are out there, of which I don't know which one is applicable to your situation, but I wanted to make it clear that just because cruise line A goes there doesn't mean that Royal Caribbean could go there necessarily. There's a lot of factors involved. And Christy Meyer, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Hi there. We'll be on Allure of the Seas November 9th for the travel industry invite. Hopefully our paths will cross. I will see you on board the Allure of the Seas for that one. Hopefully you guys, so that when they do a media cruise, which is what Christy's going on and myself, they have like two paths, if you will. One is for the media, which is me, and then for the travel agents, which is Christy. And they do a lot of different events. There's not a whole lot of overlap other than the fact that we're both on the same ship. So in the evening times, there's usually, some partying going on, and that's a good place to see Christy. But during the daytime with you guys, we all have different events and whatnot. So hopefully we'll see each other on board. That'd be awesome. Please, Christy, if you see me, please say hello. I would love to say hello to you. Douglas wants to know, how crazy do the sail away parties get? Are they worth attending? Also, what are your thoughts on the Coco Cay zip line? The sail away parties don't get crazy. There are people that are up on the pool deck dancing. There'll be live music during your sail away, and there'll be music, and there will be someone from the activity staff leading everybody in the Cupid Shuffle and the other songs that I can't dance or remember the words to. But it's pretty tame. It's like line dancing or whatever the equivalent is today. I mean, they're not singing in a line. It's formation dancing. It's the Macarena-esque dancing style, whatever that is. So I would not say it gets really wild. It's definitely family friendly, and certainly fine. Is it worth attending? Some people really like them. I personally just like being there for the energy, not necessarily that I ever get down there in the conga line and and singing or dancing, but I do like the energy of it. It's kind of fun. Nice way to celebrate together. So sure, why not? What are my thoughts on the Coco Cay zip line? It's cool. There's 3 different zip lines, which is really nice. So you get a little more. It's not just one long zip line, which makes the value seem a little bit better. So sure, why not? YOLO zip line it. Let me get a drink of water and catch up with the chat. Joseph wants to know, is there a minimum? Oh, Joseph wants to know one. Not even close. I bought the limited dining package. I have 2 questions. If I go to Johnny Rockets for lunch, how does that work? Do they charge the food credit for Zumi sushi from 35 to 20? No. One has nothing to do with the other, Joseph. When you have the unlimited dining package, it's unlimited. So when you go to Johnny Rockets, you get the cover charge paid there. It's a cover charge restaurant. So that's it. Now, if you have a restaurant, if you're on a ship that has Johnny Rockets that costs a la carte, like, was it Anthem of the Seas has that, then you get a stipend there. I think it's $20. But it has no impact if you were going to Zumi later that day, week, or whenever. There's no impact. They're not like, oh, you went to Johnny Rockets. No. One has nothing to do with the other. So, and do they change the food credit for Izumi sushi from 35 to 20? All right. I combined your 2 questions, but I think I still answered your first question the first way. In that, if you go to Johnny Rockets for lunch, it's a cover charge restaurant, pretty straightforward. And they changed the food credit from Izumi sushi from 35 to 20. No, Izumi sushi's always been 35. Playmakers, and there's one other place is at 20, but that's because they're different restaurants and different menu sets. So there you go. Ron Ladowski in the chat. Ron, what's up, man? I have cruised with you, and when on a group cruise, we definitely abuse the drink package. I don't know. Wait, that's probably Tony Diaz. I have like 1 beer a day, maybe, and that's about it for me. There's a minimum age of 4 for day beds. Yeah, that's just, you can ignore that. There's no such thing. Trust me when I tell you, no one is going to question the 4-year-old or the 1-year-old or the 6-month-old. I don't know why it says that. Liability, I guess. I have no idea, but trust me when I tell you, that rule is not enforced. And it's just, yeah, it is what it is right there. P&O Australia is owned by Carnival. Thank you, Ro. So going back to your question, this could be again, I don't know this for a fact, but if Carnival and P&O go to a port and Royal Caribbean doesn't, it might be because Carnival has an exclusive contract there. P&O is owned by Carnival. That's not unheard of in some places. Again, that might not be the answer at all, but I rattled off a bunch of other reasons it could be. So who knows? What is the best thing to do in Labadee? I only preface this by saying, number one, I think you can have a great time without buying anything. Just simply go to a beach, Kayla. There's a lot of cool things to do there. My go-to is to rent a cabana at Labadee. That's just my style. But you have a great time by simply going to the floating bar at Labadee, and enjoying some time there on Adrenaline Beach, or going to Nellie's Beach or Columbus Cove and doing something over there. Let's see here. Fiona wants to know, question, do you have to book a boarding time if you have the key? Yes. So Fiona, you still need a boarding time because the key boarding time is only for a specific time. I believe I forgot the time, it's 11:30. Anyway, if you were to miss that boarding time, then you fall back on your original boarding time. So yes, you still need to get a boarding time if you have the key. B. Peterson, how closely do they focus on weight limits on excursions? Pretty closely. I mean, it depends on the tour, obviously, but let me give you examples. When you go on the North Star on a Quantum Class ship, they will weigh you. When you go to Perfect Day Coco Cay and you go to the raft slide, they will weigh you and your family. For a lot, the reason why is because this is for your safety. Now, listen, if you're like, a pound or 2 over, will they stop you? I don't know, but I would expect that to be the regulation there. It's too hard to, in terms of the actual shore excursions that you're going to, and, you're doing a tour in Cozumel and there's a weight limit on there. I can't promise you one way or another, but I would assume, but I would go in there assuming that they're going to adhere to that rule. So just my 2 cents on that one. Jake wants to know, have they brought back the parades or balloon drops? Balloon drops, no. But the parades, yes. I was on Wonder of the Season. They had a parade on there. So, yes, absolutely. Patience, thank you for the super chat. I must be blind. Yes, poking fun of myself. I can't find the podcast on the website. Oh, So patience, royalcaribbeanblog.com/podcast, podcast, podcast. And then it's episode 464. It's one of the, if you scroll down a little bit, once you get to that podcast page, you'll see it over there. You could also, patience, you could just bypass that and use like the iTunes, the podcast app on your iPhone or Google Play, Stitcher. There's a number of podcast apps that are out there. Spotify. Royal Caribbean Blog podcast is on there as well, and it's a recent episode, I believe 464, Cruising While Blind. It's one of the last 5 or 6 episodes. Patience. If you still can't find it, patience, send me an email after this broadcast, matt@royalcaribbeanblog.com, and I'll send you a link to it. And maybe somebody in our chat could link patience to it as well. Let's see here. Raphael wants to know, what terminal does Royal Caribbean sell from Miami? Terminal A in Miami, almost always. Terminal A. Abby, thank you for the super chat. How far from my cruise will cabanas be available to rent at Coco Cay via the travel planner? Thank you, Abby, for the super chat. The answer is it depends. It could be, there is no set time. I generally tell people 6 months out, but it could be there before then. It could be there after then. It's one of those things you just have to keep checking back over and over again, which is what it is. Danielle, my travel partners are vegans. Would you recommend getting a specialty dining package or just stick in the main dining room? I would honestly say the main dining room. And the reason, not that there's anything wrong with specialty dining, but they have a special vegan menu in the main dining room every night. So you have to ask for it, but they have it. So main dining room will probably have more variety. And I would say there. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's see here. What is my favorite ship? Wonder of the Seas. Love Wonder of the Seas. Georgette wants to know, does the sushi bar offer more than just sushi? Generally, yes. It depends on the ship that you're on. I don't know what ship you're talking about, but there's other non-sushi food. My wife doesn't eat sushi, and they have chicken teriyaki, beef teriyaki, udon noodles, a couple other non-fish based foods. So yes. Terry Cadwaller, welcome, Terry. It's good to see you here. Paragon 716. I'm disabled and using a scooter on my cruise for Alaska in 21 days. How accommodating are the buses to cruisers on scooters when going into town? Sitka and Victoria and British Columbia don't dock in town. Good question. And the answer is pretty good. Obviously Paragon, it really, I think, number one, if you can easily transfer from your scooter to a seat, that will greatly improve your chances of getting around, quite frankly. So if you're good on that, if you can get up from your scooter and walk over to a seat, I think you'll have no problem at all. I remember Paragon, I was in Juneau, and there was a free shuttle that brought us from where the ship docks to downtown, and there was a gentleman who was in a scooter, and they had no problem accommodating them. So, and Alaska being a U.S. state and ADA rules and all that, I think you'll have. I can't speak from personal experience, but my expectation would be that you'd probably be okay. Again, the issue I think largely would be if you can't transfer, if you have to be in the scooter the entire time, that might be a problem. But if you're not in that situation, then yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Troy from Australia, hello and welcome. Pepe Farm wants to know, how do they know if you're sharing the deluxe drink packages or not? Let me put it this way. It's the way the bartenders, it's not their first rodeo. They can usually tell that you're doing it. Not to mention the fact that all over the ship, there is closed circuit TV that can see you. So, yeah, suspicious behavior is pretty easy to spot for them. Don't do it. You can afford a cruise, you can afford a drink package, or rather, if you can afford a cruise, you can afford a drink package, or pay for drinks on your own, in which case you can share them. That's totally okay. We've shared tricks and strategies, Pepe, to be able to if you don't have a drink package, to be able to save money on drinks while on your cruise. But if you have a drink package, buying the drink package, those are the rules. You don't have to buy a drink package, but if you're buying the drink package, yes, you must adhere to the rules. It's your responsibility, and you can't get in trouble for that. Jessica, thank you for the super chat. Prepay your 2 days before Royal Caribbean raise, and do I need to pay the difference? No, you don't. You're locked into the grandfather, or your grandfather into the old rate. Good to go. No change required for you. Let's see here. Nick wants to know, did they let Mariner let you book shows on board? No, because on a Voyager class ship, you don't need to make reservations for a show. Beverly, are they still scheduling boarding times now? Yes. So it's actually, Beverly, tomorrow, our video that's coming out, I'm talking all about the protocols today versus what they used to be. Give you a good idea. It's good to line in the sand of where things are. I think you'll find that very, very helpful over there. Kenya wants to know, do you think Starlink will actually improve internet service over Zoom? 138% yes. Absolutely. In fact, Kenya, I already know this for a fact it will. Why? Because they were testing it on Freedom of the Seas earlier this summer. And I sent one of our writers, she's actually our social media manager, Nicole, to check it out. She tested it out. There is definitive proof. It is way faster. The answer is yes. I'm very excited for that. Love that. Chris Smith, thank you for the super chat. 7 days till independence of the season. I know you drive to the port, but what do you know about the Uber Lyft situation to get back to Orlando after we dock? Thanks for your tips. Plenty of cars. There can be surge pricing, Chris. Depending on the time you get off the ship, you could see a very high price, but there'll be plenty of cars to get you there. Just keep that in mind. Big Dog, thank you for the super chat. Are the photo packages worth the cost of this would be my wife and mine first cruise. Yes, they are. As long as you stop, take pictures every night of your cruise, it absolutely will save you money. But it's up to you. Stop, take the photos there. That's the critical thing right there. So hopefully that makes sense there. Raphael, thank you for the super chat. Love the videos. Thanks for all the info and news. Thank you, Raphael. I really appreciate your generosity. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for your super chats tonight. Really, really appreciate it. And we have an epic. Holy smokes! You'll want to slap Tony Diaz. Is that good of a super chat? Woo! Thank you, Sharon. Any idea if internet will be included when you're in Star Class? What if you already purchased Surf and Stream? Will it honor in the Starlink system? Great questions, Sharon. Let me tell you the answer. I have no idea. It's too early to know. I reached out to Royal Caribbean with similar questions earlier. They don't have answers yet. So the answer to your question is I have no earthly idea. Anything's possible. There's no way to know definitively right now what it will be. A couple things to keep in mind, Sharon. It looks like Independence of the Seas is going to be the first Royal Caribbean cruise ship to have, or one of the first anyway, to have Starlink, in addition to Freedom. In fact, I believe on Freedom it has not changed yet pricing wise. I could be wrong on that, but anyway, we'll have to wait and see. The answer, it's all very, very good questions. We simply don't know yet what the answer is because Royal hasn't said anything yet about it, one way or another. So there's no way to know today the answer to your question. When we do know, I will definitely answer it for you. Some people have been proactive and saying, all right, well, I'm going to buy internet now at the current rate, anticipating a rate change so they can be grandfathered in. That might work, and they might end up looking like geniuses. Or Royal Caribbean might say, yep, we're canceling those purchases. That's no longer a product we offer anymore. Instead, we offer, I already know what it is. We offer Sterling. And, you can purchase that if you'd like to. But don't know. The honest answer to your question, nobody knows, Sharon. It still remains to be seen. I'm trying to get answers to that. But hopefully we'll have an answer about that soon. So, sorry, I can't give you a better answer, but that's what it is right there. Thank you for your super chat. Really, really appreciate it. Jennifer wants to know, can you bring on a hydro flask on board for water purposes? Sure, absolutely. I mean, you can't fill it directly, but you can take a cup of water and fill it up. Absolutely, no problem at all. A lot of people bring water bottles and whatnot on board. So, yep. Stacy wants to know, can you gift your diamond drinks to your spouse, for example, order them and give it to someone else? Yeah, I do this all the time. My wife is very good at gifting them to me. Because the diamond drinks technically are non-transferable, but my understanding of that, number one, is that means that my wife can't tell them, oh, I have 5 Diamond Plus drinks today. I'm going to give all my drink vouchers to Matt. That doesn't work. But there's absolutely no reason that she can't order a drink and I consume it because it's a fixed amount. It's not like the drink package, which is unlimited, and we could abuse that. It's 5 drinks. And in my experience, the waiters definitely do not care who drinks them. It's just, that's the way it works right there. So yeah, good question, Stacy. Let's see. Desiree has our next question with super chat coming in. Thank you, Desiree. Good day. Are drink vouchers still being given to Diamond and above for use anywhere? Yes, they are indeed. Absolutely. Just used mine last week. Thank you for the super chat. Ashori, I'm an employee and I missed a date to sign my doctor because of technology reason. I can't help you on this. I don't work for Royal Caribbean. And I would not advise you to get any advice about working for any company on YouTube Live. You should reach out to Royal Caribbean about that. Unfortunately, I can't answer that. Luke, new to the blog, what do the super chat donations go towards, and what's the backstory about Tony Diaz? All right. So the super chat donations are like a tip jar, Luke. It goes to me. YouTube takes a cut of them, but I get the majority of the money. And it's basically the tip jar. It's like, we were at a piano bar and I was singing Piano Man. And you say, whoa, this guy is such a great piano player. Here's a couple of dollars. That's basically what it is. So it's a way to donate back to what we're doing here at Roller Caribbean Blog, because the money goes right back into the blog and we use it for, articles and research and whatnot. But it's just a tip. You don't have to do them. The super chats are not required. But the nice benefit, something we've adopted here on this channel, is it's a way to get also your question answered tonight, because we get a lot of questions, a ton of questions. I can't possibly answer them all, but we do answer all the super chats. So if you want to, you don't have to. I do answer other questions like this one, which doesn't have a super chat. And what's the backstory about Tony Diaz? It's just don't worry, it's just something dumb we say. I don't even know how to explain it, quite frankly. I'm trying to give you like a really good, like, Tony's in our chat. He's a really nice guy. We love Tony Diaz. It's just like you feel so good about something. It's so good you want to slap him because you feel so good about it. But I don't know if this joke really carries over. We just say these things. So don't worry about Tony. He's a great guy. Let's see here. I'm gonna drink of water. Chris wants to know, what's the status of the return of the Quest and Love and Marriage game show? Love and Marriage game show is back, Chris. They've been offering it for a little while now. They just had out a Mariner this season last week, and before that, we saw that. Anyway, Love and Marriage is back. The Quest is not. It's one of the major things that has not returned yet. Probably the major thing that's not returned yet at this point. So, Daisy, I recently viewed a cruise planner on your blog. Are the times itinerary for the shows the same or close? Pretty close, Daisy. As I like to say, Royal Caribbean doesn't want to reinvent the wheel with these things, meaning they're not going to just come up with a brand new schedule for every cruise, especially when the itinerary is exactly the same. So more often than not, the times and the shows are going to be the same. So yes, if you see a past cruise compass for a sailing you're going on, you can pretty much bet that within the ballpark, it will be roughly around the same time. So it's a safe bet. Let's put it that way. Tiffany says, I'm really glad that they changed the Starlink before my internet package came up for purchase. Mine hasn't come for purchase yet, so I won't be able to board till April 2024. I have no problem, Tiffany, figuring that out, because they'll probably have that very, very soon on there. Amanda wants to know, what is your favorite like? There's obviously a typo there. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Amanda. My favorite feature? Or my favorite thing about Oasis of the Seas? I love the pool deck. They did a really nice job with the pool deck on there. It's a resort style pool deck with the lime and coconut. Really, really nice. IMC, what is my favorite type of cruise? Like Alaska Caribbean? Oh, that I've been on? Alaska. I mean, Alaska is absolutely beautiful. It's not very sweaty, which I like a lot. But I definitely would want to do Alaska. So yeah. Let's see here. This is very accurate. No one ever tipped you for your singing, Matt. It was an example, not a hypothetical. Nice. Did I catch up on all the super chats here? Yes, I think I did. Nice. We have time for a couple more questions, guys. I'm going to run on out of here. Already about our hour already, if you can believe that. Holy moly. That went by quickly. Next question is from Lisa. If I sign up for a boarding time prior to purchasing the key, do I need to change the boarding time now? Nope. One has nothing to do with the other. So, Lisa, you're basically you'll get an email from Royal Caribbean about your key purchase, and that will tell you what time you can show up there. And your boarding time is your backup time. So if you were to miss that key boarding time, then you can fall back on the other one, but you're good to go. So you don't have to change the thing on that. Next question is from Douglas. I thought of another question. What time do the bars usually close on the ship? Is it any different than if you're in port? Generally not. The times, here's number one, Douglas. Number one, look at a past cruise compass. We have an archive of past cruise compasses at royalcaribbeanblog.com. And the reason why I'm saying that is, rather than talking hypotheticals, you can go see bar hours. That's in the cruise compass. That'd be number one. Number two, a lot of bars stay open pretty late, depending on the bar. Like the pub and the schooner bar stay up till about midnight, which is when the entertainment stops. But casino bar, whatever bar is the club, can go well into the evening, 2, 3 a.m. or something like that. So, yeah, pretty straightforward. Nick, thank you for the super chat. Is there a fee to replace a second passenger? No. So if you book two people and you're on the reservation, Nick, and person B, you need to swap out, no problem for a name change. No fee for a name change. But adding or removing somebody, like going from 2 people to 3 people or 2 people to 1 people, that can be a fee. So hopefully that makes sense. Mary, thank you for the super chat. I don't see a message from Mary here. I'm looking for Mary. Don't you remember me, Mary? I'm like breaking out It's a Wonderful Life references in here for the 5 people that might get my terrible accent. Well, thank you, Mary, for the super chat. I appreciate it. And AD, thank you for the super chat. Be nice to Tony. Just realized he's an AD just like me. Well, I don't know what that means, but I'm always very nice to Tony. No one's nicer to Tony than I am. We love Tony here. Come on. No physical. And I should put at the bottom of the stream, like the bottom of the movie. No Tony Diaz's were harmed in the filming and production of this live stream. Danny DiMatteo, thank you, Danny. Appreciate it. And the aforementioned Tony Diaz. Good night, everybody. Tony, thank you for joining us here, buddy. Really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, time for one more question, and it's coming to us from Lisa, who wants to know: can you get a milkshake if there isn't a Johnny Rockets on the ship? Oh, it's a good question. The question is, who would make one? I mean, certainly any place that has ice cream and milk, like the main dining room, you could probably ask. Never tried it, because I don't believe milkshakes are on the menu in Playmakers. And I'm not. You go to the Windjammer, they can't make one there for you because they don't have access to food there. I'm maybe main dining room. So you'll have to think about that. Tiffany, thank you for the tour of Wonder of the Seas. Now I know where to go. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you like the tour. We take our video tours here very seriously, and we have a Radiance of the Seas tour coming up very, very soon because Jenna was just on board the Radiance of the Seas. So we have a last minute super chat coming in from Lou Rosengrant. Lou, thank you for the super chat. Hey, Matt, great meeting you at the British pub on Mariner. Lou, Kristen, Asha, and Wes. It was very nice meeting all of you guys. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad you said hello, or I said hello. We both said hello, and we had a nice time on there. That was a fun cruise, man. That was wish we met earlier in the cruise. We would have had a lot more fun later on. But hey, nonetheless, we had a great time on there. Love when people say hello while on board and get a chance to talk to people. So really, really nice there. And last question, not email, is from Girlande. When will Starlink be available on Harmony? We don't know yet. There's no schedule as to when the deployment rollout for Starlink will occur. So to be determined at this point. Well, we're going to wrap up this live chat here. Thank you so much for your time. If I didn't get to your question, you can always post your question over on our message boards at royalcaribbeanblog.com, or wait until next week. We'll be back again next Monday right here on YouTube. Before we go, I'm going to say some thank yous to our super chatters tonight. Thank you, Lou. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, AD. Mary, thank you. Nick, thank you. Desiree, thank you. Sharon, thank you. Raphael, thank you. Big Dog, thank you. Chris, thank you. Jessica, thank you. Susan Westfall. Did I say your super chat earlier, Susan? Susan, it's good to see you. Tuning in late, just saying hi. 69 Days till Anthem of the Seas. Good to see you here, Susan. Appreciate you. Hobbs TV coming with a super chat the last minute. Thank you, Hobbs. Can you have friends just get a normal room and stay in your star class cabin with you for the whole trip? Here's the thing. Let's assume the answer is, I mean, sure, no one's going to stop you. They're not doing a head count when you go in for the evening. The problem with that little strategy, Hobbs, is that the benefits, the star class benefits, are only for the people that booked the room. So the genie services, the free internet, all the stuff included is only for people that booked in the room. So the normies that are in the other room, they're sleeping on your couch, that's fine, but they don't get the benefits, and they're not entitled to the benefits, like the genie services, access to the suite lounge, all that kind of other stuff there. So hopefully that makes sense and you understand that. Thank you for the super chat. Susan Westfall, thank you for your generosity with the super chat. Abby, thank you. Patience, thank you. Christy, thank you. Arok, thank you. Dominique, thank you. Brandy, thank you. Kenya, thank you. Dave and Sherry, thank you. Ainsley, thank you. Diamond Dave, thank you. Tony, again, thank you. Sarah Heinzman, thank you. Here's $2 to stop slap. I must have missed this one too, Tony. I'm sorry. Patience, thank you. Melissa, thank you. Upstate and Beyond, thank you. Victor Cruz, thank you. North Florida, thank you. Lil Fontana, thank you. Ronnie, thank you. Jennifer, thank you. Diamond Dave, again, thank you. Dominique, again, thank you. Lanina, thank you. Rage, thank you. David, thank you. Anna Marie, thank you. Teresa, thank you. Dave and Sherry, thank you again. He's my son, thank you. Yari, thank you. Mark, thank you. Dominique, again, thank you. Diamond Dave, again, thank you. Josh, thank you. Betty Eakin, thank you. And one more super chat coming in at the super last minute here. Douglas, thank you. And wait, is this sugar? Is this the sugar? Like, met you in the casino and won a lot of money, and you have a very nice family, Sugar? Well, thank you. Good to see you here, Sugar. Way to sneak in at the last minute. JJR just signed up on your chat. Welcome. Glad to have you. It is the sugar. Wow. Well, you missed the entire broadcast, or I missed you in the entire broadcast. Either way, hope you and the family are doing well, my friend. We miss you on board cruises. Not the same without you. Off a parole. Nice, dude. Nice. All right. On that note, guys, have a great rest of your evening. Enjoy. Stay safe out there. Do something fun. That's important as well. And we'll talk again very soon, right here on YouTube. Bye, everybody. Bye, Crystal.